I don't recommend uh, food or liquids, honestly, in the esophagus for the most part. Sometimes I try to inhale water. Body's not stoked on that either. Anyways, you know who is pretty sweet? Well, it's our Zerg player down here in the lower right-hand corner of El Dorado. It's Dark. And he's so sweet that Wolfer Brimley is going to announce what he's going to give to us. The Betas. His opponent in the lower left-hand corner also recommend not not inhaling any liquids. It is Team Liquid's Cure. I don't think inhaling chocolate would give you diabetes, though. I think. Because you would have to inhale too much. Like, okay. Assuming we're talking about type 2 diabetes, which you can get by having too high of a blood sugar over time, where your body no longer accepts insulin. Right. Which you can get by eating too many things with sugar. But in order for you to have a high enough blood sugar from just inhaling either a food or a liquid, chocolate perhaps in liquid form could be inhaled very easily, you would fill your lungs with fluid, which would, I'm just going to say, even if it did give you diabetes, would be the least of your concerns. You need your lungs to not be full of fluid in order to survive. Even having like a little bit too much fluid in there is really bad for you. And in fact, I think that's what like pneumonia is. Yeah, so I don't recommend inhaling chocolate. I don't think, though, getting chocolate in your lungs would give you diabetes. I don't think it would. The blood sugar would be high enough. If it could even absorb the sugar through your lungs. Like, I'm not even sure if that. I think it would. I think your body would still absorb that sugar and have to deal with it in the bloodstream, but in a very different way. Inhaling meaning eating quickly. I did, Thorn. I did think that's what you meant, but I can't pass up a good, I can't pass up a good opportunity to purposefully misunderstand what you were trying to say, you know? It's just too much fun. Just too much fun. That Reaper just bopped himself. Oh, he wants that drone. He's not going to get it, but he wants it. He wants it. Hellion's going to try to come in now, but Dark is very prepared for this. As he drops the Roach Warren, so Dark getting set up on 3 bases here. Not really lost anything yet, just a couple of lings. And heading towards Roaches. Cure looks like he's going to also expand, take the 3rd base on the bottom side of the map here. And he's heading towards Banshee's just good old Hellion Banshee. Cloak even started up here for Cure. Oh, he's just going to dive forward, but this is not going to work out super well for him. The queen count here for Dark is very high. These Hellions will kind of get away for now. Oh, but did he? Dark never got Ling speed. I just realized these Lings are still super slow. Okay, no Ling speed for Dark. I guess that is so that he can just get a higher queen count out earlier, I'm guessing. And now he's mining that gas. But still not worrying about Ling speed just yet. I see he doesn't have the gas for it, so. Starts up with a lair. Damn. Who needs Ling Speed, man? Not Dark. Dark ain't worried about it. He's going to take the gold base from the backside, which means he won't be getting the gas from it, but Zergs generally don't need a, 7th gas geyser super early. With all that said, Dark is taking all of his gas geysers right now, and this Banshee's going to come in here and will spot this. So he hasn't seen any of the other geysers, but he sees that the 3rd base has both of them taken, and that's a pretty big deal. I'm really surprised to see this many gas geysers taken for Dark. As the lair is finishing up, you could wonder if he's going for a Spire, but knowing Dark, and with 1-1 started up here, I'm kind of guessing this is just going to be a heavy Ravager count, and he's going to try to put some pressure on Cure. I thought he was going to take this base just going straight for this gold base. And I guess he's just going to be trying to pump out as many Marines as possible. The Marines are not going to deal with Roaches as well as things like maybe Marauders, so we'll see if he starts getting some of those out as well. Oh, Dark going for a Nidus Worm. Oh, cheeky boy. Okay. So both players just trying to ramp up production here. And Dark is just going to start sending Roaches across the map. Now, there are quite a few Marines here for Cure. He's going to pick off some of these Roaches. Just kind of taking a fight right now. Drops to this side. Dark does have a little bit of an opening in the wall. But this drop is still going to be very annoying as some of these creep tumors are getting gunned down. Drones have already been pulled off the line here. And Roach is taking some very disadvantageous fights. Dark is losing a lot of Roaches right now. And of course these Roaches don't shoot up. I'm surprised there's not any Queens hanging out over here. But as I say that, the Nidus goes down into the main base. It looks like Cure has spotted it. Couple Marauders trying to come over here and close it down. It looks like they will, but there's nothing in the Nidus, man. It was all a little bit of a trick. And this 4th base is going to be forced to be canceled here as the Roaches and Ravagers are right on top of it. Just as 1-1 finishes, a new Nidus Worm is starting up now. And there is stuff in the Nidus now. It looks like that's just going to get killed. The base lands actually before that Nidus finishes. Really nicely done by Cure to make sure he can land that base. And he's just going to start setting up a defense. Dark, in the meantime, taking this extremely forward gold base. That feels just insane to me that he is taking this base. Like, that can't be good, right? In the meantime, he walls off here, but it does feel like a couple of siege tanks could cause a real problem for Dark. He's going to clear his own so that he can't get locked out. I'm not sure if this is good for Dark, being down, like having both players on the bottom side of the map when he's just on a ton of Roach Ravager. It feels like in these kind of smaller choke points, and this isn't super small, but it's not a massive concave. I don't know if the Roach Ravager is going to be quite as powerful. But we'll see, I guess, because Dark is just going in, man, and this isn't a planetary or anything. That is just an orbital, so it's going to be on the tanks and the bio to defend here. Another tank does pop out. Ravager's not able to bile any of those down just yet. Dark's base is now up. It's not really running yet.
Our SCVs are under attack.
Cure can probably surmise that it's there. I love the single Ravager. So annoying to deal with. Cure trying to move some tanks forward. One of them does get gunned down. Bile's landing on a ton of this bio as Dark pulls back onto the creep here. 40 Lings coming out now. Ling speed's only halfway done, Dark. Oh no, that's like real bad. Man, okay, well, he's got to hope the Biles hold on until Ling speed finishes. Well, Biles are going to be doing a good job pushing these units back. Bane speed is also not done yet. So as he morphs these banelings, these are going to be slow Banes. This is very painful. Dark, he was very committed to that Roach Nidus. Like, he's going for a lot of tech behind this now, but Ling speed is just finishing up. Bane speed is going to be just behind that. Thankfully for Dark, Cure hasn't been able to really push on creep. Just picking off a drone or two here. He's going to send some bio units down there. Should be able to take care of that base. Dark is also expanded up towards the north side. Yeah, he's going to try to hold on to this base for now. Yeah, this army's now pretty much just Ravager Ling Bane. It's so funny, like right as Ling speed finishes, the Hive finishes, so he just starts up Adrenal. No melee upgrades. That's not the biggest deal in the world, though. He's got 2-2 for these Ravagers. This spread, though, from Cure is so nice. Even with these Biles landing down on a lot of this army, they're really not killing a ton. They're just kind of spread out around the place. Oh, he is going to kill his own creep tumor. Sad to see. Tank's even moving forward here. That one is going to get gunned down pretty quickly, but there's so much bio here for Cure as he's trying to push forward. 2-2 is done for both players. It doesn't feel like it was quite enough bio as the Lings come in now. It's a lot of Marauders left over. Those Lings are getting some great surface area on them, and Dark is feeling confident that he has cracked these tanks, cracked the bio. He's going to keep diving forward. The Banelings are not doing such a great job here. They're just running into Marauders. A lot of Marines popping out now, and that is a perfect time for Cure to get these Marines out. He's got to avoid the Biles, though. These Biles are hitting so much. Look at these medevacs going down to the Biles, man. Still 11 Ravagers. 8 have died in this game, and he's going to bile down the command center. Cure losing so much to these corrosive Biles. They are corroding Cure's chance of winning this game, that's for sure. Liberator's coming out now, but now behind this man, Dark, he's got a lot of bases up. He is trying to retake this gold. Not a ton of drones, but he's going to dive back in here. He's going to take that base out as well. Trade with a few more of these bio units. There's a drop up here, but the Queens and the Lings are able to take care of it. Woo! Try to get those Biles, didn't quite work out. But Cure's on 3 bases. Like, this is very bad. He's got a ton of mules right now, so he's mining a lot, but he's gonna mine this out very quickly. His main is getting low. He's actually just gonna float the main command center over. There's not even much to mine here. There are 4 mineral patches. There's about to be 3 mineral patches at this gold. And now Dark is pulling back, and it almost feels like with all of the tech Dark is getting up, he doesn't even need to keep a ton of pressure on right now. He's Dark, so he's going to do that anyways, as he wants to keep this 4th base from really mining too much. And in the meantime, he is just sucking up some of the resources here. So even if Cure is able to start pushing this back, maybe take this base down, at some point, it's going to be really hard for Cure to keep macroing. Vipers are out now. Parasitic Bomb goes down. Biles taking out yet another siege tank. Oh, and Dark's just going to keep on trying to break through here. Takes down both Liberators and another tank. And Cure is just going to have a really hard time continuing to replenish this army, especially as he keeps mining out this gold base. There's only so much mining you can get from a few bases, and we see this base is already starting to lose some mineral patches. The natural doesn't have much left. There's no mining in the main because he floated the command center. Cure's running out of options here. He needs to go take another base, but how can he do that when Dark just has the much more mobile army? Oh my god, the cheeky Infester. Look at it just hanging out by these siege tanks, man. Infester's gonna pop up, land one fungal, and die. but that should allow the rest of this army to come in here. And that's going to be GG. Dark taking game number 1 of this semifinals. Whew. Man, what a game from Dark. Yeah, it's crazy because, like, that's such a Dark move to go for. Like, it wasn't an all-in, but it was a very committed Roach Ravager 1-1 timing. He skipped link speed. He just went straight for everything he needed for that. Was trying to get the Nidus Swarm up in the main, but I think even that was kind of it was almost a false flag, right? Like, sure, if he got it up, he could get some roaches out in there. But it was more about that frontal assault while they're both on the bottom side of the base. It just didn't really work. Like, I think he pushed the base off once, but then he kind of had to go in macro. Like, he wasn't able to really break in, I think, the way he wanted to. Cure defended it pretty well, but Cure wasn't able to get any big counter damage done. It looked like he should be able to, because Dark was trying to switch to Ling Bane without Ling speed or Bane speed. But he bought enough time with those biles. Cure was a little bit too slow on the counterattack. And Dark was able to get everything he needed to just be in a great position for the rest of that game. It's just such a Dark move. Like, it's such a Dark move. Oh, look at how committed I am with these roaches. Never mind, I've got a hive. Like, I don't... it's just what he does, man. And here he is spawning in the upper right-hand corner of Ultra Love. It's Dark. And his button in the lower left for Team Liquid, it is Cure. I mean, there was definitely a point where Cure, he was in a great spot that game. Like, holding off that Roach Ravager attack, he ended up going across and dealing some damage with like some drops. And he started kind of pushing through the middle. But he just wasn't able to get any real damage done to Dark. He wasn't able to stop any of the tech, really kill any drones, or, you know, take a good fight where he killed a lot of those Ravagers. Dark got so much value out of the Ravagers he made, like, for that first attack. Just, he banked so much gas to make all those Ravagers, and then they biled. They must have each shot, like, 100 biles. And you're just bound to hit stuff at that point, right? He's killing medevacs, tanks, liberators, marines, marauders, orbital
Game
command.
paused.
Uh-oh. A little bit of a pause here. Hopefully nothing too terrible. But yeah, the value of those biles really added up over time and put Dark in a much better position. I think we might be good.
Game resumed.
Shout out to Into the Inu for being a referee this game. Appreciate that. Also, one of the people who is really good at just getting everybody into a party and hosting the maps, which is really, really helpful to make sure the casters get in, even though we almost left Dave behind in game one. We got him in. Yeah, really, really appreciate the people who are able to do that. I'm not very good at making maps, making like custom maps and stuff. I can do it, but I'm not nearly as quick as a lot of these guys. I always forget what the map order is. So I really appreciate guys like Into the Inu who do that and communicate with the players. He's a Korean commentator, so it makes it a lot easier in the KSL for him to communicate with the players what's going on with the vetoes. But I really appreciate him kind of taking charge and doing that. The support SCV left to fend for himself because Cure wanted that orbital command to start up. He loaded the SCV in and then unloaded it to start the orbital. he could have saved him. But at least he got vengeance. Killed all 4 lings. And Cure, in the meantime, he's going for a quick 3cc. I was going to ask if Dark was going to skip ling speed again, but I mean, he's at 156 gas, and he just threw down a Roach Warren, so I guess, yeah, he's going to delay ling speed again. It's such an interesting choice. I have seen him do this a handful of times, but it still always throws me off. And this game's a lot different than the last game. It felt like he was headed towards just kind of a normal opening, but pulled off of gas, didn't start up ling speed, and instead throwing down that Roach Warren now. I wonder if we're going to see a very similar build from him. Reapers and Hellions again trying to come in and get something done. Not really finding much here, though. And again, it is going to be Hellion Banshee out of Cure. Classic 3cc stuff. But because he found no damage last game, I feel like that gave Dark a nice opening. I feel like part of this for Cure is also going to be scouting. He hasn't spotted that Roach Warren yet. He did see that ling speed wasn't started earlier. I mean, I guess he's going to see the roaches now, but now's a bit of an awkward time to see a bunch of roaches. He does have Banshee, so he's going to have a Banshee pullback. Second one is nearly done. Hellions are trying to delay these first few roaches so these Banshees can get back. And Dark, he's going to just start turning around immediately. Gets in here, kills a Hellion. But, yeah, he's just going to pull back. Starts up the lair. He's just droning, man. He is pumping drones. And the nice thing for Dark is that he forced the Banshee to turn around. He's kept the Hellions back at home. So he's got nothing threatening his drones right now. Well, until now. The Banshees do cloak up. Lair just finished, but there's no mobile detection, so it's just this Spore Crawler for right now. The Hellions move around the other side, but the roaches will be there to deal with them. A few drones go down. Not too bad so far. Dark did not connect his bases with Creep here, so make it a little harder for the Queens to get here to defend. Good micro from Cure, getting, what is this, 9 kills? 9 drone kills. Still good drone count here for Dark. He's just been pumping drones the last few minutes. As he has those roaches to defend, he's got the Queens to defend. He doesn't need to build any more units. He's just got to micro them correctly, and so far, he's done a pretty solid job. Cure's third base is down. But Dark, I mean, he just hit 80 drones. He's got 1-1 on the way, Roach Speed on the way. A Hydra Den started up, or nearly finished, actually. So Dark is really hitting the macro stride. I thought I saw it on the production tab. Yeah, the Infestation Pit. Actually done even before the Hydra Den. So he just starts up the Hive immediately, starts up those Hydra upgrades. He wants to get Lunge. And, I mean, I'm guessing head in towards Lurkers, although with Dark, you never can quite tell. Like, he might just play Roach Hydra. Straight up. Cure looks like he's just focused on a Marine tank right now. So I do think tanks are going to be a good choice if you're up against Roach Hydra. I don't know that Cure knows really what he's up against, though. Like,
Additional supply
obviously, he's seen the roaches, but I think more importantly, he's seen no Ravagers. He's going to trade with a couple of these roaches, but oh my god, these tanks aren't sieged. Jeez. Cure just playing with fire here. Ooh, a couple roaches spill into the wrong spot. And that poor Marine. He just got caught on the wrong side of all this debris falling. And now he's forced to stay out there. Yeah, Viper's coming out immediately. No Lurker Den, though, right? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so it is just going to be a Roach Hydra for now. Vipers, and I do kind of assume Infestors at some point. Like, Infestors feel like they'd be really good here. Oh, and of course, I mean, now that the Vipers are out, like, you might as well start up Link Speed, right? Like, Hive is done. I guess maybe you want Adrenal at some point, but, like, Link Speed's a good start. But Cure is pushing, and this feels like a bold push out of him, since Dark has been kind of just untouched this whole game, except for 9 drones earlier on, but he's just going to go for this full frontal push here. A lot of Marines on the front lines. Oh, beautiful Blinding Clouds, incredible Blinding Clouds, and there's just not going to be enough here for Cure. I feel like these Hydras are going to be able to crack through. Even a couple Roaches left over. Cure traded okay there, I think, with the Roaches and Hydras. The problem is, I don't know if he's got enough defense back at home now to deal with the counterattack. He is going to have a couple of tanks pop out. Okay, actually, with 4 siege tanks, he'll be good for right now. Dark's at least going to have to wait for these Vipers. And his 5th base was canceled. He only started a new one pretty recently, so as Cure goes and takes a 4th, it is going to be 4 bases to 4. Dark was mining really nicely for a while, but he's down to 67 drones and doesn't have a 5th base yet, which feels not great economically for him, I'll be honest. Lurker Den does go down now. As he lunges forward to get another Marine. The lunge doesn't work quite as well if there's Roaches in front of the Hydras. He's going to yoink a couple more tanks, but both Vipers get targeted down as they get those abducts off. Hydra's going to dive forward, get another siege tank, but there's more behind that. Cure's a deep tank line. These Marines are going to push forward up this ramp. They have a lot of healing with them as well. He's feeling pretty confident without the splash damage here. A couple Lurkers could go a long way. Oh my god, he's going to try to break this. He is going to successfully break this, but Dark already split some units out there, and he is going to come in for the full wraparound, and that feels like it should be enough here to push Cure away. As I say that, though, Cure's got some reinforcements, but maybe not quite enough, and he will boost these medevacs back and try to take the high ground with the tanks, but as they siege up, they're getting jumped on already. Some units on the backside. Would need to see a lunge on a few of these Hydras. Dark reinforcing, more Roaches and Hydras coming out, more Vipers being made. The Hydras dive forward. They're not great against siege tanks, but you know what? When there's no support, they do okay. And he is just killing everything. Cure down to 100 supply. It feels like Dark is moments away from taking the 2-0 victory and heading in to yet another KSL Grand Finals. GG. Dark going to his umpteenth Grand Finals against a hero.